The Titans unquestionably had one of the strangest and most interesting draft weekends of any team in the league when they traded superstar receiver A.J. Brown of Philadelphia in exchange for a first-round pick. Then they took Treylon Burks, who's a good receiver. That's his replacement, but he's not A.J. Brown, at least not yet. They ended up landing Malik Willis deep into day 3. And they're kind of in a weird period where it's like, are they rebuilding? Are they reloading? Or are they trying to be competitive now? And I think the answer kind of falls somewhere in the middle, where they're trying to at least reevaluate their organization, kind of rebuild from the ground up a little bit. But they still do have the pieces in place. They still have a pretty good roster top to bottom, and they don't play in a strong division at all. It's the Titans versus the Colts pretty much right now. Now, could the Texans, could the Jags make a push in the next couple of years? Yeah, it's possible, but I don't think they're there right now. So the Titans can still easily win this division and potentially go even further than that. But let's go ahead and jump in, go over the roster, and get into this rebuild. Very quickly, you can use code BENGAL on SeatGeek, SeatGeek. Find it in the App Store. Whenever you're buying tickets for anything, use code BENGAL, you'll save $20. I'm not saying go out of your way, right? But if you're going to go to a baseball game, football game, basketball, concert, anywhere that you're going to buy a ticket for, if you're going to already, use code BENGAL and save yourself some money. Why not? Okay, so this is the team. I'll start with the rookies just because those are probably where you guys are most interested right now. That's what makes this particular video special. The rookies are included. So Treylon Burks, decided to give him star dev. I think that's fair. I thought about bumping it up to superstar, but we're going to play it a little bit safer and go with star, middle of the first round pick. I do like the player quite a lot, though, and I think he could be very successful in Tennessee. So he's got star dev. Gave Malik Willis star dev as well, because there's certainly a scenario, even though, unfinished product, surely, there's a scenario where he ends up being quite a good NFL quarterback. Now, it might not be a likely scenario, but he certainly could be. He's got a big-time arm. He's a really, really good athlete. And he was in a very, very bad situation at Liberty. So his best football could be ahead of him. I don't think that's crazy to say at all. And star dev, I think, is quite fair. Could have given him normal, obviously, but we don't want to be too boring. He's going to end up starting probably at some point. And then I gave Roger McCreary star as well. He's good. He was the best corner in the SEC last year, in my opinion. And that includes Eli Ricks, who was a 5-star transfer to Alabama from LSU. And that includes Derek Stingley, who went number 3 in the draft. Now, it doesn't mean he's a better draft prospect than those guys, but he had the best season of any of the SEC corners that I watched last year. I thought he was really, really good. And he just has short arms. That's kind of what it comes down to. But really good press man corner. He's a little handsy, a little grabby at times, but I do quite like the player. And we're just going to go ahead and try to hold on to these guys. Now, I wonder if the Titans valued Harold Landry significantly more than A.J. Brown, and that's kind of the reason they were willing to trade A.J. Brown, with Harold Landry figuring to be quite expensive here. But we'll see. Hopefully, we'll hold on to him long term. I'll probably end up moving Bud Dupree. It's my team now, okay? I run the show, and Bud Dupree to me doesn't make any sense. I didn't like the contract at the time. I still don't like it. And he's just getting paid like one of the top edge rushers in the league. And that just isn't Bud Dupree. So could he still be productive? Yes, he's in a good situation to be successful. But I just don't think he's one of the best edge rushers in the league. And I'll probably end up trading him. But wow, the red shooter sleeve and red gloves look pretty sick. I'm going to give him that. Trading Bud Dupree and a 4th-round pick to the Cowboys for a 2nd-round pick. Probably could have traded with a team that would given me more, or that would end up being a higher pick because they're going to be worse. The Cowboys are always pretty good in sim. So maybe a bit of an oversight on my part, but I just wanted to clear up some money. Now, we do have quite a lot of money already, but it's going to get a little bit tougher in the next coming years. And Bud Dupree is just somebody I don't want to be paying, so that was kind of the motivation to move him. Well, we made the playoffs. 10-7 won the division. I think that's pretty reasonable. Now, the Jags are going 9-8. I could see it. I mean, if the Jags got their stuff together, they've got a talented roster in some areas. Like, they could end up being okay. But, they're not they're not all the way there yet, but making the playoffs is pretty nice here. Of course, we're in the wild card, but I don't really know what you expected. This is probably not going to be a first-round bye team. Again, stuff could happen, but probably won't be. And I assume we just handed the ball off to Derrick Henry every play, and that's exactly what happened. When you have Derrick Henry, you can give him the ball. Now, in real life, is Derrick Henry probably going to put up a 2,000-yard season again? I don't think so. He's just 28. He's coming off of some injuries. It's going to be really tough. I unfortunately think that the best version of Derrick Henry we've seen is in the past, but could he still be quite good for Tennessee? Absolutely. Absolutely. Just he's been asked to do so much, and 340 carries is something where that he could reasonably be, and that's a lot of touches. That really is. Not to mention any catching out of the backfield, but it's not really his game. But great season here. Unbelievable. We're gonna continue to rely on him until we can't. Treylon Burks was pretty good for a rookie. You know, I guess I didn't really talk about a lot of the team, but they traded for Robert Woods, acquired Austin Hooper, no Julio Jones anymore, of course. Like, still rocking out with Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. The offensive line is kind of in a weird spot where this is their window of being good, I would say. Because, yeah, they do have some young, talented offensive linemen like Nate Davis, right at right guard. But it's not a lot outside of that. Like, Dylan Radunz could be good. He's not there yet. Taylor Lewan is solid. But then, outside of that, there really isn't a ton here. Like, Ben Jones, like, he probably isn't going to be able to remain that good for that much longer. Like, Roger Saffold's best days are behind him, I think. So, I don't know. They're just kind of in a weird, like, middle area. And then defensively, like, there are some really talented pieces. I love Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's an incredibly talented player. Getting Caleb Farley back from injury. I wanted to call him Mick Farley for some reason. Getting Caleb Farley back from injury could end up being pretty big. Amani Hooker is quite decent. Of course, we traded away Bud Dupree. Zach Cunningham's in here. Love Harold Landry, Kevin Byard. And then Elijah Molden is actually quite good as well. 70 overall feels a bit low for him, actually, in my opinion. But it's kind of where they have him, I guess. Taylor Tart, Danico Autry, pretty good as well. Christian Fulton, Roger McCreary. All right, just wanted to catch you guys up there because the roster could change significantly based off of what happens in this offseason. Defensively, Zach Cunningham and David Long had a bunch of tackles. David Long had 10 for loss, but Danico Autry led the way with 19 for loss, 17 for Jeffrey Simmons, who also led the team with 7 sacks. Harold Landry's got to put up more than 6. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. He's got to do a lot more than 6 sacks if he's going to get top-of-the-line money. But maybe it's a good thing he didn't put up a crazy number and get a ton of XP this season because he's going to be a little bit cheaper to bring back, I think. Going to load in a 2023 draft class as well. I've been using one that I downloaded, I believe, in the last episode, last rebuild. I liked it enough. Now, we do know some things about it, like CJ Stroud is normal dev, but you know, obviously always change these. It's just subjective at this point in time by the creator what these dev traits are going to be and where the rankings are. But overall, I really don't think it's a bad class this far out. You got to keep in mind, it's May, and a lot's going to change from June, July, August, September, October, November, December, all the way up until the draft in April. So something to keep in mind, but we'll go ahead and try to beat the Bengals here in the postseason. I think we definitely could. And we do, 20-14. The Bengals, I don't know, maybe it was last year they were really good in simulation, and they had some great seasons and a great defense. But I don't think they've been that great in sim in Madden 22. But I can't quite remember. Their defense was pretty good. Their offense was good as well. They were just a really solid team in general, and the Ravens go 13-4 as a result. But once again, I think a beatable team. We're only an 80 overall. We're overperforming right now. They're an 85 overall, but I think we could end up beating them. But we don't actually come that close. 24-7, probably the proper result there. And we will go to an offseason where I think you could say this was a fairly realistic, fairly successful year number 1 of this. Made the playoffs, won a wild card game, advanced to the divisional, and that's kind of where it ended. Like, that could happen. I think that's not unreasonable at all. And we'll go to the offseason here and try to re-sign some players and also probably acquire a few in free agency. It's going to all depend on what our money situation is, financial situation. And Harold Landry could end up being expensive. I think he's going to be in here. But I don't know about anybody else. We'll see the recap first. Panthers-Broncos Super Bowl. This time the Panthers get their revenge. Vic Fangio wins Coach of the Year, who is no longer there. Nice. That's really Nathaniel Hackett now. Desmond Ridder, Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course, in the 2022 class. And Micah Parsons, Defensive Rookie of the Year, like happened in real life in the 2021 class. But there is overlap. It's the only way you can get the rosters to work. Although, I am looking into the PC Madden mod. I have to buy Madden on the PC, which is frustrating to say the least, especially in May. But I'm working on it. We'll have to see if that ends up coming to fruition. But I've seen your suggestions. I'm working on it. And I'm not going to say no. We'll see what happens. So Nick Westbrook-Akeen is in here. Teair Tart is in here. Teair Tart I might want to bring back, but I don't really feel too strongly about anybody else. Also, Harold Landry's not in here. Did he sign an extension? I didn't think so. He did. How did I not hear about this? Maybe I just forgot. He's going to be a free agent in 2027, and he's actually on a pretty reasonable deal. So I guess this entire time I've been talking about, oh, Harold Landry could get expensive. He's already been re-signed, and I don't know if that deal is going to be reflected in game, but I guess it might be. See, only $16.8 million here in free agency. And, I mean, it's the usual suspects that we've seen in the past few of these. Ooh, Christian Fulton. Did he go up to star dev? He may have. He may have. I don't know that I want anybody. Yeah, I think we're going to hold off. Yeah, as tempting as Antonio Brown would be, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. And we'll go to the draft. Wow, Vikings have the first pick. We are way down the board at 27. I think we'll probably just simulate there and see what's available. So, could go DeJuan Jones. That's not a bad pick. Bijan Robinson. Ooh. Little Texas Longhorn action. It's my Derrick Henry replacement. Now I'm intrigued. Am I about to take a running back round one? Hell yeah. Bijan Robinson. He can catch the football out of the backfield. And am I really... Like, in real life, it actually would make sense in my opinion, even though I think people are going to strongly disagree with that. It's the back end of the first round. Like, you could see it happen here, even though running back in round one, not always a great idea. Just in-game, Derrick Henry's still a 99. He's going to be a 99. I recognize the timer's ticking down. I could probably use offensive line or receiver or an edge, or, I mean, D-line in general. It's irresponsible to take Bijan Robinson. I can't do that. I want to, but I can't. How good is Kalijah Cansey in this? Don't know anything about him. Let's take him. That's always a good reason. Got hidden dev, 86 strength, 75 speed. Not too bad. Kalijah Cansey going to play on the defensive line for us. We really needed an upgrade. So, I guess he's the guy. Jahmyr Gibbs is here. Let's go with Zion Nelson, though. Could end up upgrading the offensive line. Zion Nelson could be the man for the job, either at right tackle. Maybe we slide him inside to guard. Could work out. Derek Hall could end up being a first-round player in the 2023 NFL Draft. There's a possibility. He came on pretty strong down the stretch for Auburn. We're going to take him. He's only got normal dev, but I think competes for a starting left outside linebacker spot on this particular team in-game right away. And that'll be the end of the draft. Okay, so we didn't do that well. Didn't do horribly, I suppose. Derek Hall is a worse overall than I would have expected. Kalijah Cansey at a 72. It's workable. He's going to be a 3-4 end for us probably, unless we change the defense, which is possible. I just think the team is currently set up to play in a 3-4 right now. Jeffrey Simmons just brought back Teair Tart. Just drafted an interior defensive lineman. I'm starting Zion Nelson at left guard and Kalijah Cansey at defensive tackle. Teair Tart's going to be a backup. I don't know how long Danico Autry's going to stick around. He's 32. He's regressing. I still like the player, but in game, he's not really going to be super viable? Well, I think it's safe to say this season's not going that well. 1-5, pretty bad. Well, we'll go to the playoffs here. Well, we're not going to the playoffs, but then we're going to simulate there, I guess. We will not be participating. Okay, 5-12. Not where you want to be. The offense was abysmal. We did run the ball pretty well. Yay. But obviously something's got to change. I should have drafted Bijan, dude. You know what it is? We just can't run the ball every play to Derrick Henry with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Malik Willis 3 for 4 with a TD. It's time. Malik Willis has taken over. Derrick Henry was quite good, but the offense is just not... It isn't suited to just hand the ball off every play. We can't score doing that. Robert Woods went for 1,100 yards, though. Treylon Burks went for nearly 1,100. They combined for 9 total touchdowns. And then defensively, Harold Landry put up double-digit sacks for the first time in this. That's nice. 4 picks for David Long. Statistically, it doesn't really seem like we were that horrible, but in terms of, like, getting it done, finding the end zone and stopping points, we were just really horrible in the grand scheme of things. And the Colts were amazing. How is that possible? I'm going to go, like, I don't know, Ravens offense maybe. Packers went 15-2. Now, that's a 3-4 defense we could go off of. Maybe I'll try Packers defense. Is that a bad idea? They were really good. Maybe not. And the Bengals, I guess, are great in simulation. They win the Super Bowl 31-24. And Sauce Gardner is now on the Bengals. That's interesting. And he wins Super Bowl MVP. Bryce Young with the Jets is your offensive rookie of the year. Yeah, Zach Wilson is not good. Could happen. And then Noah Sewell teams up with brother Panay in Detroit. It wins defensive rookie of the year. That's fun. Jeffrey Simmons going to be free agent. Okay, Nate Davis, Amani Hooker. Definitely want to bring back some of these guys. I'll probably steer clear of Deshaun Hand. David Long, yes. Brett Kern, probably not. Amani Hooker, Nate Davis, Jeffrey Simmons, yes. Other than that, not really a whole lot here for me. I think I'll probably pass. Jeffrey Simmons back pretty easily. Big time deal. I think it's like 5 or 6 years. Why am I giving Amani Hooker this much money? I guess sometimes hookers get expensive, you know? All right, sure. Lamar is always in free agency. Man, I know, yes, I should sign Lamar. Eventually, I'm going to in one of these. Maybe the Seattle rebuild, if we get to that. But I want to see Malik Willis in action, so I want to sign Lamar so badly. Also, it probably would cripple us financially, but I would like to. Instead, I'll probably try and bring in Denzel Ward. Scary Terry wouldn't be a bad idea, but I think that could be pretty difficult. Tony Pollard, maybe we could be a good RB2 in front of Eric Gray. Wow, free agency is going well. Denzel Ward and Darius Slayton both decline and are headed elsewhere. Okay, you know what? Save my money, whatever. Lamar's still here. Dude, I want to sign Lamar, but Malik Willis is in the thumbnail, man. I got to ignore it for now. I don't want to. Understand? I don't. But I have to. I need a kicker and punter. All right, let's handle that. And I'll see you guys at the draft. All right, top 5 pick in the draft at number 3. Not opposed to trading down if the right offer were to present itself. However, I'm not necessarily looking to do that when I see Larry David, creator of Seinfeld, here on the board. He's got elite jumping. That means he's elite at jumping the snap count. I'm interested. Rashad Noble looks pretty good. He might end up being the pick for me, but that might be a transition to a 3-4, or from a 3-4 to a 4-3, I should say. I could be down. We might have to make a trade at some point. All right, here we are at number 3. I'm taking the pick, and it is exactly the player I talked about. It's going to be Rashad Noble. Now, could I trade down 2 spots and get him? Yeah, probably. But what are the odds that the Broncos or Eagles want to move up and trade their first-round pick in the process? I'll look, but I think it's probably more than likely we just stay. Oh, the Eagles do want to move up. All right, well, I'll allow it. They take a quarterback, and the Broncos go Rashad Noble. Oh, man. Life sucks. I ever tell you guys that? Write that down. That's good. That's true. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. I mean, I could take Tony Woodley. I just don't know if he's any good or not. I'm going to trade this pick for an actual, like, established pass rusher. And it's going to be Brian Burns, probably. Oh, look at that. That's close. So close to getting Brian Burns, in fact, that all it should take is a 7th round pick. And no? Put us over the salary cap. Put who? The Panthers? Okay, there it is. It's actually going to end up being even bigger than I thought previously. The number 5 pick. This ended up working out great for us. 67 and a 2nd rounder next year for Brian Burns and Shaq Thompson. And Brian Burns will be a starting edge player in whatever defense we happen to be. And Shaq Thompson's going to play off-ball linebacker. The only real trouble with him is that he's expensive and older. Like, he's 29, which isn't old, but it's older. Does have superstar dev in this now. It's just he's going to start regressing, but he'll be good for the next season, maybe 2. We just got to figure out what defense we want to run, and we'll be good to go. But Brian Burns, you're not acquiring anybody near his level with the top 5 pick in the draft within 2 years. You're just not going to be able to do that in this game. So this worked out way better than getting Rashad Noble. Okay, DeMarcus Perriman ran pretty fast. Am I just seeing like sub 4.3 and being like, I gotta have him? Hey, Brashad Perriman was a speedster at a UCF. Dude, this guy's also a speedster at a UCF. Well, Brashad Perriman was such a beast. I gotta take him. Does have 97 speed, star or better development. He looks pretty good. Now, Brashad Perriman was significantly larger, at least in terms of height. But we're going to take him. I like the look of this guy. Like, we know he has B run block. That's pretty good for a receiver. Wow. D short route running sounds horrible, but he does have B spec catch, B awareness. He's going to be a deep threat. I'm interested. And that'll do it for the draft. I needed a 3rd receiver anyway. That's worth taking the pick. I almost went with an offensive lineman. We'll take a look at him. He looked okay as well, but I think this player is going to have a bigger impact for us potentially. And DeMarcus Perriman is a 75 overall. Short route running was a D. That's a 71. That's not even that bad. Oh, he's fine. That was a lie. Also, CPU in the 5th round taking Justin Bryant, 71 overall speed rusher, 80 finesse moves. Not bad. Rashad Noble, only a 75. He's horrible. He's not horrible. 75 is pretty good, but let's see his dev trait. If it's anything below Superstar X Factor, I don't care. Star. Ugh, good. I'm glad. There were some pretty good players in this class. Jamison Manning, I think, went a pick ahead of us. Never considered him, but, I mean, tied for best player in the draft's pretty good. Couple strong safeties near the back end that are very, very talented. And 2 middle linebackers as well. Both 89 speed. Dude, all the best players were at the end of the 1st round or into the 2nd. And that's partially because of position. Tyler Menecal. Interesting. Seems to be a pretty loaded draft class, to be honest, but wasn't so great at the top. Ooh, I didn't trade Ryan Tannehill during the draft. That was a mistake. But we can make up for it now. And it wasn't a mistake, because what was I going to do? Trade for a 1st round pick and then trade it for Brian Burns? Oh, I did that. Okay, so nobody's going to be able to afford Ryan Tannehill if I trade for a pick. So it's got to be for a player. We can figure that out. I saw the Bears were interested, and I could make that work. Eddie Jackson? It would work, I guess. All right, Ryan Tannehill for Eddie Jackson, player swap. Cool. So, I mean, Eddie Jackson's interesting. He's going to play strong safety. Maybe we could have upgraded inside linebacker. I don't think they were going to move Roquan Smith. They could have, but I'm fine with the trade. Amani Hooker at sub linebacker. This is going to work out pretty well. So this will be the team. Receiver looks a little bit weird, but I think it's going to be fine. And then defensively, I'm leaving Brian Burns at defensive end. You're like, why? He's not a 3-4 end. And I'm like, that's a fact. But in Madden, it's not gonna matter. He's gonna be a rush end anyway. This just ensures that he gets the most pass rush opportunities, and that's his game, right? So We're going to go ahead and just fix that and turn him into a beast and hopefully destroy opposing offenses. Now, I do have questions about our offense. I'm trying out... What am I trying out? I'm trying out the Baltimore offense. Could be good, could be bad. But if Lamar Jackson wins MVP in that offense, I think Malik Willis could be successful as well. And you know they're going to run the ball. We have Derrick Henry still. It should work out amazingly. Green Bay defense, is it too good to be true? We'll find out. 3-3 at the midseason mark. This really isn't horrible. The defense is good. The offense has not been as good, but it's still top 15, number 11 overall. We're not really doing a whole lot of that passing nonsense, but this is getting back to basics, running the ball. That passing crap is like witchcraft, basically. So I'm cool. DeMarcus Perriman, we don't know his dev trait yet. Hopefully we find out at some point. Derrick Henry, Shaq Thompson. I mean, there's some big free agents in here, I guess. Texas legend. Little Jordan Humphrey, hook 'em horns. People get on me when I forget to do that nowadays. I'll resign. Derrick Henry wants more money? What are you, smoking meth? Christian Fulton back to. We did pretty well there. Christian Fulton, Taylor Lewan, Austin Hooper, Shaq Thompson, all re-signed. The rest, it's up in the air right now. Well, we rebounded and made the playoff. I guess rebound is not the right word. We were doing okay, just not amazing. And then ended up doing pretty well. We were kind of, yeah, we had our stretches of hot streaks and then some cold streaks, but not really. Overall, just a pretty reasonable season. And we ended up making the playoffs and a 31-32 defeat at the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 18, which Week 18 still sounds weird to say, but might end up being a playoff matchup. 21st offense. I would say that Malik Willis was not bad. He was handing the ball off, which is his role right now, and Derrick Henry is still crushing it, so why wouldn't you? About 2,000 yards, 24 touchdowns. That's a good season. 5.5 yards per carry. Receiving, Treylon Burks was good. I mean, but he's not really the focal point of the offense, nor is Robert Woods or DeMarcus Perriman, the rookie, who has probably star. Yep, star dev. Could have bet on that. Now, the Chiefs are not exactly the ideal draw here in the wild card. They're going to be a pretty good team, and apparently they're hot right now. But it's going to be a blizzard. Make up your damn mind, game. We're going to go ahead and try to beat the Chiefs here in the wild card. I don't like our chances, as we actually win. We beat them. We hit them with the draw 4 in the wild card. Chiefs get to only play an Uno playoff game. That's got a little bit of a stretch on that. Jets went 12-5. Okay. All right. We go ahead and have the CPU upgrade the team. And we could beat the Jets. I mean, they're an 84 overall. I don't think the Jets are unbeatable here. And we'll try to go through them. Big win. Big win. Big win. 42-28. And we are in the conference championship against a very good sim opponent. Cleveland Browns are like the best simulation team historically over the past couple of years. And we'll see what we can do to take them out. Conference championship time. I'm jumping in. Super sim action. 85 overall to their 87. Now, they don't have Denzel Ward anymore. Remember, they lost him in free agency. But not like our receivers are going to take advantage on the outside anyway. We'll run the ball. So that's also probably the weak point of this Browns defense anyways. Not a great interior of that defensive line. Not a great linebacker group. Doesn't mean it's terrible, but it ain't great. But you never know how it's going to play in sim. We do have home field advantage, and we take advantage getting on the board first 7-0. Browns trying to answer right back, but haven't been able to find it, and eventually they do, 7-7. Make that 10-7 Cleveland now into the third quarter. Need to get back on the board. 17-7 in favor of the Browns. We're jumping in here on offense to see what Malik Willis can do. Big time speed. And we're going to look for Perriman deep. He's so fast, but okay. Yeah, Malik Willis, 2 picks in this game. I guess I can see why. I mean, that wasn't even close. Oh, Perriman, so quick off the line. He's got 97 speed. I don't know why he stayed in bounds there. Not like it matters, but we got to score pretty quickly. So, no time to dilly-dally. We're running. Malik Willis taking off. We're getting blocks. Willis down the sideline, steps out, big gain. What is this play? Whatever it is, it's confusing. I can't tell if it's or like an end around or it is. It's going to be a little pitch to Treylon Burks. This is how you want to get him involved, ladies and gentlemen. First down, Treylon Burks. So I didn't know if that was going to be jet motion and a quarterback keep, but it's a jet touch pass to Treylon Burks. Coming back across as we'll try to score here. Perriman diving catch and touchdown. I really like that A.J. Brown type play. Little pitch to Treylon Burks. That was nice. But Perriman touchdown on the next play. Puts us right back in it. Need the defense to make a stop. We just need a stopper to... Oh, it's Nick Chubb, though? I mean, I guess that's who it's going to be. They have Kareem Hunt. Maybe still. Maybe not. D'Ernest Johnson. Possibly. Am I player locked here? Oh, it's play action. And that's wide open. Are we covering anybody? So I'm not liking what's happening here. The Browns are just moving the ball down the field very easily with Nick Chubb. And that's pretty much it. Watson gonna throw. It's gonna be picked off by Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton, big takeaway. Deshaun Watson tries to throw the comeback on the opposite side. Fulton saw it the whole way. Big interception. And Deshaun Watson, used to taking what he wants, doesn't get it here. Fulton takes it away. And it's going to be Titans football. So it's 4th and 6, and the CPU wants us to try a 59-yarder. I don't think we're going to do that. 59 yards is a lot of yards. That's what I know about that. We'll try and convert here. And Austin Hooper's wide open, up the seam. Big 4th down conversion. And that could really secure us a win here. Still got to find the end zone. Understand that, but we have 2 minutes to do so. And it might be Derrick Henry time. It might have to be. Feed number 22 the ball and end this game. Great run. Good throw, please. Thank you. It's Lil Jordan. Hook 'em. Everyone makes fun of me when I forget to say it. I don't throw it out there all the time. But yeah, it's a good way to remind you guys that I am indeed a Texas Longhorns fan, even though it's been pretty sad of late. Go Henry up the middle. You're not tackling that. Get out of the way. Touchdown, Titans. Touchdown, Derrick Henry. And the extra point should put us in a really good position to win this game. We get it. 31 seconds to play. They need a touchdown. Oh, we know the route. We know the route. That's helpful. Oh, we didn't know that one. Going deep to the end zone, please. Oh, that was me back there, just single-handedly trying to take that away. Got a little bit dicey when they threw right at me. I'm just going to try and take these routes away. They need a touchdown. That's a cool check down. I don't care. Final timeout. They have 7 seconds, maybe one shot to the end zone. How about some pressure? That'd be nice. Throwing deep, end zone. And that is incomplete. There's a second left on the clock. They'll have one more try. Will Deshaun Watson force his way in? We'll have to see. For a shot at the Super Bowl. Watson with all day. Throwing, end zone. And that is incomplete. Tipped multiple times. Ends up falling into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he can't secure the catch. Game over. Watson comes up short. Wow. Lions, Titans, Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, all right. Sure. All right, let's see. Any dev trade upgrades? None that I can see on offense. And then defensively, might be one or two. No, 0. Okay, nice. It is cool seeing Noah and Penei Sewell right there, brothers. Cole Holcomb has Superstar X Factor now. Okay. Off to a decent start, 10-0 here in the Super Bowl. Make it 17-0, and the Lions finally get on the board with a TD, but it's 20-7 Tennessee as we go into the second half. 20-7 still. Lions get another touchdown and another score, making it a field goal game, but we extend it back. Now it's 30-17. It's going to be too far out of reach for Detroit, and that is your final. 30-17, and the Tennessee Titans our Super Bowl champions. I'll do one more season to see Malik Willis. So we'll go to the offseason and get into preparation for the final one. Derrick Henry won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Kind of cool. Jeffrey Simmons, Super Bowl MVP. Interesting. All right, so I let some of these guys walk into free agency, and that includes Derrick Henry. We'll try to work something out, but I don't know what the future of Robert Woods will hold, and I like where the defense is, so I think we're in a pretty good position. Ooh. Either way, it looks like Derrick Henry is trying to go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, but we'll try and bring him back. Ooh, Robert Woods. This contract does not make sense for me anymore. We're going to try and trade him, and nobody wants him. Nobody has any interest. We'll try and get a second rounder from the Browns. It's not going to be close. Maybe a fourth, and they'll take it. Zach Cunningham contract also makes no sense to me. Try and trade him as well. He's got a little bit more interest, but he's probably going to go for about the same amount. Maybe a second round pick. Best case scenario. Yeah, nope. We get a third, though. Not too bad. All right, I offered a lot of free agents a lot of money. We're going to get rejected by a few of these guys probably, but hopefully a few of them also say yes. And we got rejected by Tyron Smith, but other than that, I would say it's an overwhelming success. Logan Wilson signs. That's our Zach Cunningham replacement. Derrick Henry signs. That's our Derrick Henry replacement. Mike Williams signs. That's our Robert Woods replacement. Tyron Smith rejects. It is what it is. But we also got Jeremy Chin. You're like, why would you get Jeremy Chin? You already have Eddie Jackson, already have Kevin Byard. I think that I could move him to linebacker and be very happy about it. Okay, so receivers look real good now. I need Nate Davis to not be playing two positions, but other than that, we'll be fine. And then defensively, Logan Wilson, Jeremy Chin at middle linebacker. That's cool. Shaq Thompson, Harold Landry on the outside. D-line's still fine. We're looking good. Could try Stephon Gilmore. We still have a ton of money. Trent Brown as well. Michael Pierce as well. Trent Brown rejects. I did get DJ Reader and Patrick Ricard, though, just to get a fullback. Why can I not get a tackle in free agency? I'm trying to pay these guys money. No interest. I might have to trade for one because I'm not spending my draft pick. There's kind of no point. But getting DJ Reader, it's an upgrade on Kalijah Cansey. We have depth at the position anyway now, so it'll work out. And Cansey's still probably going to be a rush D tackle for us. Going to be Simmons and Cansey. Landry, Burns. Is DJ Reader better than Cansey? Probably not. Nah, I mean, he's just not going to be a rush D tackle. It's going to be Cansey and Simmons. And then the only thing you can look to is like a lockdown corner. But I like our cornerback group, so I don't really feel like it's a huge need. And then getting a big upgrade on the offensive line, which my picks are going to be able to make that happen. Like, no question. So I have 3 third-round picks because of some trade downs. I think I only have to give up one of them here, but I am trading a first-rounder. Number 32, we won the Super Bowl. It isn't that valuable. A third and a fourth gets us Eric McCoy, new starting center. We'll rock with Radons at right tackle. It really isn't the worst thing. And we'll go to the draft with really no needs. We'll sim to round 3, but I can't imagine doing much here. I mean, maybe a receiver here, or a running back. Looking at a running back. You know, he seems okay. Wish change of direction was better than decent. I'm not thrilled. I don't really know what we draft here. Like, the corner's not going to be any good. It's just going to be very difficult to find anybody good at this spot, so I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. Ramon Elam, elite athlete, elite speed and strength. Great change of direction. Ran in the 4.3s at his pro day. I'm in. Does have hidden dev. 91 speed for Ramon Elam out of Louisville. Yeah, he looks pretty good from what we can tell. A power moves, B finesse moves for a middle linebacker, so doesn't mean like 80, but it might be high 60s. He might have a role. I'll let the CPU handle the next third rounder. And we'll start the final season. 74 overall, I'd say that's getting pretty lucky. He's got good tackling, good hit power. Block shedding's not great. He's a pretty good player, though. And we get all like high 60s players. Deep draft class. Yeah, Elam's actually quite good. I kind of wish we could figure out a way to get him involved, but it would be by like trading Eddie Jackson for a top corner. Maybe I'll try that. I can't really do anything. That's okay, though. I like the team. 4-2 at the midseason mark. Not bad, but when you consider the placement in the rest of the AFC South, it isn't great. We have the Colts. Wow, week 7 and week 9. They're 5-2. The Jags are 6-1, who we play this week. We are a better team. We're not really playing like it. Defense, 25th. Not great. You know what it is? Didn't move Jeffrey Simmons to rush D-tackle. Got to make that change. Well, second half of the season was excellent. 13-4. We like to see that. And yeah, we had a great second half of the year. 2 losses at the end of the season were very close losses. Field goal games with the Bears and the Texans, who, yeah, they're not great in real life, but at this point, like, we're pretty deep into this thing. Bears and Texans might be all right. Malik Willis threw a lot of interceptions, I would say, compared to the yards and touchdowns. Not great, but I'm assuming, yeah, Derrick Henry was still quite good. Not as good, like definite step back, which I don't know why that would be. Still looks pretty amazing. Receiving, Austin Hooper had 15 touchdowns. DeMarcus Perriman with 9. Austin Hooper, though, what a year. What a year. Mike Williams did nothing. Logan Wilson, pretty good season overall. Jeffrey Simmons had 17 sacks. 12 for Burns, 8 for Harold Landry. Interceptions, a decent amount for a few players. Nothing crazy, though. And we'll see if we can beat the Colts here in the wild card. Otherwise, this video is over, and we do 34-24. And it's the Steelers, man. They look pretty good here. Our offense ends up being number 7. Our defense ends up being number 3, both in terms of points per game. Yeah, our second half must have been incredible. And I think it must have been the change of Jeffrey Simmons to D-tackle and really having Harold Landry be a rush end for us. And here we play the Chiefs in the conference championship. They are a 90 overall. We are quite close, but that's a really talented team. Trying to repeat here. Got to get through the Chiefs to make it happen. I'm going to stay out of the game just because we've already won the Super Bowl. So trying to conserve on time in that regard. And we'll see if we beat them. We beat them, awesome. If we don't, we don't. And the Chiefs end up taking it. And it will be a Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl rematch. But I'm happy with the way this rebuild went, the way this season went. Ended up losing by a touchdown to KC. But this was a really good rebuild, I think. Won a Super Bowl early in year 3. Ended up building a really, really solid team overall. It's tough to complain about it. It really is. Ends up being a really, really solid team. Obviously spent a lot of money in free agency last season. Or going into this last season. Jeffrey Simmons up to Superstar X Factor. Elam ends up having Superstar Dev. What a draft pick. And we don't even get to see how his career goes. But that is a really, really good draft pick that just won't play for us. Really solid player. Although, that'll do it for the video, guys. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy.
Back to the house, defensive joke. I'm laughing so loud. Speed burst good.